With guys like Kevin Durant rumored to leave free agency this year and this amazing draft lottery, we may have removed two things: the Golden State era and the era of tanking. But this video isn't about Golden State. This video is about the NBA draft lottery. And I think this is the biggest win for the NBA since LeBron James was drafted in 2003. So who are the immediate winners and who are the immediate losers of this new draft system that has basically changed the way we viewed tanking and rebuilding? Let's find out. The LA Lakers ended the night expecting to get the 11th overall pick, and they ended up getting the 4th overall pick. When you go from projected to be picking outside of the top 10 to getting the 4th overall pick, that's a major win. Now, you can do two things with the pick. Either you can draft a young, talented player in the top 40, or trade the pick in a package for Anthony Davis using assets like Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma, who are already on your roster. Now, I'm at the front office. I don't make that decision. But hopefully, they use this golden opportunity with that top 4 pick to build something or trade for something to reboot the Lakers. And as much as I hate to say it, when the Lakers are good, the NBA is good. The Memphis Grizzlies ended the night with the 8th best odds in the lottery. They also were at risk of losing their pick if it fell out of the top 8 because it would go to Boston. But in the end, it all worked out. They ended up getting the 2nd overall pick in the draft. They will have a choice between RJ Barrett or Ja Morant, another player to put next to Jaren Jackson Jr., but do you want a young potential star wing player, or do you want to get Mike Conley's replacement and Ja Morant? This is a great situation for a team that has been in a small market and finally has a chance to draft a potential franchise player to pair next to the aforementioned Jaren Jackson Jr. The biggest winner of the night were the New Orleans Pelicans. They ended the night with the 7th best odds and ended up with the 1st overall pick. Now, whoever got that 1st overall pick was going to be a winner because, well, they won the lottery. But especially New Orleans. You see, the organization had a situation with Anthony Davis that has been well documented and well reported on. And when you can get another lottery pick, if you have to trade him because it looks like he still wants to be traded, that will give you a big chance at having the 1st overall pick and drafting Zion Williamson, which a lot of people expect him to do, and getting another guy in the lottery to help build around your team. It also helps you with the fact that other teams that want them, like the Lakers and the Celtics, both have young assets that they might be willing to trade to get Anthony Davis. So either way, even if you keep Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson, and you convince Anthony Davis to stay and resign and play with Zion, or you can get young players with Anthony Davis and build around Zion Williamson in a great young court. And the Pelicans are the biggest winner, no matter what the situation will be, because of those situations and circumstances, and they have a foundation to build around no matter what with Zion Williamson. The New York Knicks ended the night with the best odds of landing the 1st overall pick, and they end up with the 3rd overall pick. And even though they landed the 3rd overall pick, they're still losers because of all the hype around Zion Williamson coming to New York, all the Photoshop pictures, and they probably aren't going to get him unless something comes out about Zion Williamson, which I hope doesn't. And they can get a good player, but they're in lost control, because I view this draft as a 3-player draft. And I'm not saying that the other players aren't great, but the 3 top guys are clearly Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and RJ Barrett. And considering Zion Williamson will probably go number 1, the Knicks will have to take whoever the Giants don't take. And what you can call it settling, I do think RJ Barrett and Ja Morant are good players, but Zion in New York was a golden opportunity. This was the golden ticket. Both the Cavs and the Bulls are both in the same boat, as in both were projected to get top 4 picks and both are picking outside the top 4. And for the Cavs, it's more serious than the Bulls because the Bulls do have young players like Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr. and Zach LaVine, while the Cavs only have Willie Collins, Sexton, and Cedi Osman. So the Cavs really need to pick more, but it's basically the same situation now. Both are projected to get higher picks and both fall 3 spots lower than they were supposed to pick. And instead of just making it out to more than what it is, for Cleveland, it's something that you're looking for the franchise player. For the Bulls, it was like you could have been looking for that franchise player, but you also maybe were looking for a supporting piece. So for the Bulls, it wasn't as dire, but for the Cavs, it was a little more serious, but at the same time, it wasn't enough for me to make 2 separate things about basically the same reasoning for why both the Cavs and the Bulls were losers in this draft lottery. The Phoenix Suns were the biggest losers of the night because of all the teams in the lottery. They were the team that needed Ja Morant the most. Now, with the 6th overall pick, you could get a guy like Darius Garland or a guy like Kobe White. But getting a guy like Ja Morant really could have put your franchise back on the map, back to a place that they haven't been since the days of Steve Nash. And overall, it just goes to show that when you tank, you're going to have to suffer consequences now, because you may not get a top 3 pick. And if any team needed a top 2 pick in this draft, it wasn't the Knicks, it wasn't the Cavs, it wasn't the Bulls. They all needed it, but no one needed it more than the Phoenix Suns. Because the Phoenix Suns needed Ja Morant at all costs. And I said it in the video earlier, if you want to check that video out, link will be in the description. But at the same time, again, I just believe the Phoenix Suns are the biggest losers of the NBA draft because they were a team that specifically needed a certain player that was going to be pegged in the top 3, and they fell out of the top 5. So the chances of them getting a player that they actually could use is a bit lower, because even though Darius Garland and Kobe White probably won't be gone before the 6th pick, so they'll get either of them, there's also a chance that teams reevaluate in the lottery and the NBA draft are both very unpredictable. Maybe Kobe White and Darius Garland do go before the 6th overall pick, and you can't just judge that based off mock drafts, because mock drafts are a crapshoot. So at the same time, to end this video, the biggest loser of the night was the Phoenix Suns. Again, I made many points about why the Phoenix Suns needed Ja Morant in another video. So if you want to check that out, check the link below. Tanking is basically when you lose games on purpose to get a high draft pick. And to say the least, the league finally solved that problem. The Bulls, the Suns, and the Cavs had top 4 odds in this draft, and none of them are drafting the top 4. While the Lakers, Grizzlies, and Pelicans all had odds outside the top 5, and each of them landed in the top 4, 2 of them landing in the top 3. This was a sign from the league that tanking isn't going to work like it used to. And the reason they had to do it was because of the success of the Philadelphia 76ers. You see, the Philadelphia 76ers were a team that made it to the second round twice and were 1 bounce away from potentially going to the conference finals. We wouldn't have to worry about this. But they were. And you know how they got Joel Embiid, and you know how they got Ben Simmons? Through tanking. And the league is finally done with that. And I'm done with it. And a lot of NBA fans are done with tanking as well. Because to be honest, it isn't fun watching teams that lose on purpose to get a high draft pick. It doesn't raise good morale. Why would you want your fans cheering for losing? So congrats to the Pelicans for not tanking. This was for your reward for everything that you've gone through with the Anthony Davis situation, even if some of it was self-inflicted. And listen, I'm sorry to all the people who made those Zion New York Knicks edits, but this isn't your fault. This is a new era rebuilding, and it's about to put an end to tanking, and I couldn't be happier. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe below. All my social media should be in the description. Podcast coming out tonight, probably around 9ish, so enjoy your day, guys.